Okay, so I did that, and as you can maybe see, the hole is up there, and I guess this now is top dead center. So it's aligned at the 0 down there. You can see that mark on the flywheel here, and then that mark lines up with that mark. So that's that, and then yeah, this is going to be somewhere up in this area, and if it's not, you have to rotate it a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to paint some marks on this timing chain, and I'll show you why here. So just a quick update, I'm going to take off this hose here, and I actually marked, I used this pen, it's not good enough. I marked the teeth as well as on the belt itself. It's not good enough, but I'll make it better later. Okay, and I'll show you what I'll do. Okay, so I loosened up the bolts. Where'd it go? Actually, it's right here. This was the camshaft bolt, and you know, maybe it had come off before or something like that. I'd probably assume, since this timing belt doesn't look too bad. But what I did is I just put a wrench on it, and then I hit it with a hammer, and it immediately just loosened right up, which was kind of nice. And then I just checked that pulley, and the pulley is loose, which is awesome in my book, because it's like going to be impossible to get a puller in there. So I'm kind of excited that that's loose. So anyway, and then I have a gazillion kits here to try to pull this, but basically it looks like this universal kit's gonna maybe be the best for the crankshaft. And so that, like that, and then I guess 2 small bolts, but unfortunately the bolts that they provided are too large, so I've actually got somebody run into the hardware store to get some smaller bolts. So anyway, that's where we are right now. I don't think I did anything else. Nope, I think that's it. Okay, so the crankshaft pulley was actually super loose and just came right off. So now I just got to take off the bottom cover there. 10 millimeter. Looks like 4 bolts, something like that. Okay, so here we are. Let me show you. This timing, there's a timing mark on the gear here. It's a notch right on this gear, and it's right back there. And then there's a notch. It's actually on the oil pump back there. So they have to line up, and then that's top dead center. Then just take this thing off. I'm not sure if it's flat or not. I guess it kind of looks flat. So anyway, take that off, and then I think we take off the tensioner next, so we'll go ahead. Okay, everything's ready to rock here. Let's see, I took off the belt. All I did was loosen up the tensioner that was there. There's a tensioner pulley there, and then I've got to get this one down here next. And then this, like I said, this camshaft pulley just came right off. So, okay, so water pump, I've got 3 bolts. Glenn, show me that. So I got 1, here's the new water pump. It goes like this. So that's the new one. I have to do these 2, but I can do that when it comes out. There's 2 on the back side right there. I'll show you how to get to those. It's actually right in there. There's 2 right there, so I gotta get those. And then I gotta get this one, and I think that one, and the thing should come right out. So this one, and then there's one underneath somewhere, and that should do it. Okay. Okay, so I got I got it out. Hang on a second. Got it out. it was in here, and exactly like I said, it was the 2 bolts right there, and then the 3 in the front, like I was saying. So, but I got those off, and then the whole thing was loose, but it wouldn't come off. Turns out, so there's a hole right here, and it actually has an O-ring right there, and it must have been on there pretty tight, but I mean it was loose. So anyway, just once you get that stuff off, you'll see that the whole thing is loose. Just pull it straight forward towards the side of the car, and it'll come off. It was a little weird. I thought something was wrong. Anyway, worked out. That's it. So got that out. I guess I'm probably gonna. Oh, and the other thing that I thought was weird is I don't see a gasket right there. Either there. So I am a little confused by that. So I'm gonna have to do a little research, and I would assume it's, I mean, it's metal to metal, so I would assume there's got to be a gasket in there. So anyway, I'll do that. Then I'm probably gonna be working on the oil pump next. Oh, and I have to get off that crankshaft gear right there, so I can pull out the oil pump and get to the crankshaft seal too, which is back behind there. Then I also have to get to the camshaft seal too. Actually, it's just right there. I got to pull it out and put it back on. So anyway, I'm into night right now. I'm probably going to spend a little bit longer, and then start working on this tomorrow. So anyway, I'll update you. Okay, so too easy. The darn thing comes right off. So anyway, gotta get that off, and but I guess if it doesn't, what I'm reading is you can stick some pry bars in there and gently pry it from probably both sides to get that off. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to do that, and then probably start working on getting the oil pump off. There's a heck of a lot of bolts for the oil pump. I mean, I guess that one, that one, that one, that one. And then there's some underneath too, because I actually bought the whole assembly. Okay, so anyway, I will... Okay, so I just had to, I remembered, before I take off the oil pump, I should probably drain the oil. So anyway, FYI, drain the oil, and then I'm going to start taking off the oil pump here. Looks like those are 10 millimeter bolts on there. Okay. Alright, so I changed my mind on something. So to get this whole thing out, this is what I purchased. So to get that whole thing off, you'll see it's got like 4 bolts onto the pan on bottom. And I was thinking, oh, that's not going to be a big deal. However, then I noticed on the bottom of this thing is some interesting duct work there, like there and there. And the problem is, I think I'm going to have to drop the whole pan to get to it, so I can screw that stuff on. And unfortunately, the pan on the other side is looks near impossible to get at. So what I'm going to do is leave this housing on. Boy, I hope I don't regret this. Leave this housing on, then take off just the pump off of the new one with the gasket. Here's the old one. Just take off that pump, this thing, and then that way it'll have a new gasket on it, and I'll just grease it up, slap it on there, and put the bolts back on. I took the bolts off, but I didn't move it, so I think if I just put the bolts back on, I think I'll be alright. Carb clean up everything and all that stuff. Alright, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm working on the crankshaft seal. Got a little pick here. Anyway, I guess just try not to muck up, ding up the crank or the shell. This thing's like hollow, I noticed on the old one, so if I can get in there and kind of pick it out, that would be cool. Okay, so this seemed rather ingenious, so I wanted to show you. So what I did, the seal's kind of tough to get out. So I actually got a wood screw or fence screw or whatever it is, and screwed it in just a hair, and then I got some pliers, and as you can see, the lip's already coming out, and there it is. So yeah, yeah, don't go too far, but don't go too far into it, but that worked kind of like a champ, so I guess I recommend that. Alright. Okay, I'm not really sure where I left off, but anyway, FYI, this bolt and this bolt is a little bit longer than the rest of them. They're all the same except that one, and then this one, and that one. These are a little shorter. But all, like this one, they're all the same. So anyway, just FYI. So I got the seal on. So that's that. And then now I've got to work on the camshaft seal. I'm going to try that hook again. The pick, little pick I have to get out that the seal in there. So anyway. Alright, I was able to get off the seal. I just grabbed the kind of the inside of the seal with the pick, and honestly it just came right out, so it wasn't too hard. Okay, I'm going to clean this up. And okay, so I was able to get it in. What I did is I took a 36mm socket, and see if I can reenact it. So I lubed up the seal. I need two hands here. Lubed up the seal, and then kind of started it in there, and then I pushed this with a pry bar at the bottom, and just kind of forced it in. It actually worked out pretty good. There's pretty much zero room on the front of this motor up here, so it's difficult to do anything. But anyway, that worked out, so just FYI. I'm not sure what I'm doing next. I'll figure it out. Okay, so I got in the water pump. Remember, it was those 3 bolts, this one, and then there's one down there. These 2 here. There's an O-ring on that thing, make sure you change it. This has got a gasket as well. And then there's an O-ring on this. Stick a little bit of Vaseline on it so it doesn't fall off as you're putting it in. Then I changed out the thermostat too, so that's in there as well. I'm not sure what I'm doing next, but okay, we're doing the pulleys. So here's the I don't even know what this one is. Not the non-tensioner pulley. So that one goes to the hole there. The tensioning pulley, I believe, goes to this one. So we're gonna put those back on. Okay.